Morning all, welcome to the Vero Coaches Wrap for round 1 versus the West Coast Eagles, which is at Subiaco on Sunday. Unfortunately we didn't get the win, but there were quite a few positive which came out of the game. What we'll do is go through what went well for the game. The first thing was we scored 100 points. So as you can see through these edits, just some of our ball movement and pressure, the ability for our players to press in defensively, cause a contest in our run from behind, our shape, our spread, and our ability to kick goals from those centre-forward turnovers was a feature of our game. The other feature of our game was our ability to score from stoppage. We kicked 9 goals, 6 from stoppages. You can see this centre bounce one here. Our ability to win the contested ball around the stoppage, shape out. Again, our run and spread and carry, and our forwards who did a really good job lengthening and getting shots on goal through that part of the ground. So unfortunately, as I said, we didn't get the result on the weekend, but hopefully for all you supporters and members out there of the mighty Brisbane Lions, you did see some exciting brand of football, which will hopefully hold us in good stead for the rest of the season coming, especially with North Melbourne this week. Another one from stoppage here. You can see our structure around the contest. Steph battled hard in the ruck against Natanui. There again, our ability to pressure up, use our hands out of the stoppage. This is when we play our best football. When we win the stoppage, our spread from the contest there, and Richie, who had a fantastic game for us on the weekend, 23 possessions, kicked a couple of goals and carried on his form from the NAB series. The other thing as well was our Dan McStay was a real positive for us in defence. We obviously had a very young defensive line on the weekend. His spoils there. He had 9 spoils for the game. So defensively he did a great job. Took 4 marks from opposition kicks, as you'll see here. And it was a real battle for our defenders. Obviously, Rog didn't play. We had an average age of 32 games in our back half compared to West Coast 112. So there's an 80-game difference per line. So again, these edits here. Do the next one. He won 6 one-on-one contests. He had 12 possessions and 5 rebounds, which was a great result for him. And intercept marks again here. So he was a real positive for us, considering they kicked 26 goals. I thought he did a fine job as a young defender. The other real positive we'll talk about is young Josh Shack. His first AFL game, he got presented with the jumper by the coach, Justin Lepage. This is his first goal in AFL football. We'll bring up some stats now as we click along. He had 9 possessions for the game, 5 marks, 3 inside 50s, 4 tackles, which was a great result for him. And he kicked 2 goals, 1 behind, and he was filthy with his 1 behind because, as you can see, he puts a lot of emphasis on his goal kicking. He's one of the best goal kickers come through the under-18 system. It's good to see the boys get around him for his first goal. He's going to be a fine player for us, and all your supporters out there should be really excited about the prospects of our key forwards with Jono Freeman. Obviously, young Josh here takes a contested mark and goes back and slots it through. So some real good examples here of the young kid in his first game. It's a real hard task going over to Subiaco, playing against last year's grand final side. But I'm sure you supporters at home would have got great benefit from watching him on the weekend. Obviously, Walks played his first game as a forward as well, which was encouraging for us. Bastanak and also Bell played their role in the side. So I think there was a fair bit of good to come out of the game. I understand they kicked 26 goals and we hate losing, don't worry, but to kick 100 points over at Subiaco, which I don't think was done last year by any other club, it was a good start to the season for us from that point of view. As I said last week, unfortunately with the good comes some areas of improvement. They kicked 26 goals, wasn't ideal, but you can see some of our ball movement. They kicked 11 goals from the goal square, and this was contributed probably to some of our skill errors from the back half. We tried to take the game on. Unfortunately, it didn't come off, and you can see the West Coast guys there as the vision rolls now. Just waiting back for us. Ball hits the deck. We win the footy. Little cough-ups there. West Coast just run hard forward, and you can see the West Coast guy over the back in the goal square. Purely what happened on the weekend was that their forwards basically stayed at home. So inside 50, as you can see here, we unfortunately, with some of our kicking, turned the football over. They had the numbers in their back half. They were able to get the ball moving forward, and our defenders just couldn't get back in time to cut off the defender. So you can see there inside their forward 50, they've already got 5 players. We've only got a couple of defenders, so it just made the task for our defenders really hard. Some people might ask why we just didn't defend and stay with them. But the reality is if we get our ball movement going and our defenders run from behind, that's what creates overlap and that's what gets the scoring. Again, this one, just a skill error, turn the football over, West Coast win it back, and they just got the numbers inside 50. Yeah, look, very good question. It was the first time we've actually had to do it under games, so we worked it out really well. I think we had 2 to spare at the end of the day. There's a couple of issues with guys being on the bench for too long, but I think you'll find most clubs this year, especially ours, will rest guys forward or at half back, which gives us an extra avenue to not having to rotate them off the bench. We ran the game out really well. We've had a very big pre-season. Damien Austin, our strength and conditioning coach, has done a great job with our guys and their fitness, and we expect to run games out really well this year. I think we play our best football when we play 3 tools. As you saw on the weekend, we had Shaki, Freeman and Walks, so we've got a very young key group down there. Walks has probably played 80 games, Shaq's played his first game and Jono's only played 20, so I think for us moving forward, there'll be games when we only might play 2, but we probably will go with the 3 tools. As I said, it's when we play our best football. They can take marks inside 50, they can create a contest for our smaller guys, and they're just hard guys to match up on, so there'll be a bit of a mix and match with 3 and 2 this year. Yeah, there's a couple of guys at North Melbourne that we probably need to look at. You've obviously got Boomer Harvey, who had a great third quarter and kicked 3 goals. You've got Daniel Wells, who's coming back into form and a terrific player, so you've got guys with speed. You've got Cunnington and Zeeble in the midfield, who are contested ball gurus and win the hard ball really well. So there's probably 3 or 4 guys we'll look at. We'll have match committee on Thursday morning. We'll go through the strengths of North Melbourne, and from there we'll work out who the best one is to run with as such. But again, Zeeble's probably one that we'll definitely look at.